How is this not then just discrimination?
Well, it's the opinion of the commander-in-chief, who, according to our Constitution, is the head of the military. I mean, regardless of anyone's opinion or anybody's, whatever side you're on, whether you're for it or against it, at some juncture, the president is the commander-in-chief of the military, and he has and should have broad latitude to determine how the armed forces should be operated.
Just like I'm not telling you what me and my wife doing in the bed. I don't want to care what you're doing or who you love. Just show up on time and put the uniform on or do your MOS and do it with integrity and do it to the best of your ability. Nobody cares about all this foolery y'all doing. Like where I'm working at, man, look, if you gay, you gay. That ain't got nothing to do with me, but I don't need you to be like, I'm a gay employee. What are you talking about, bro? Just do your job, man. Go home and lay up on your man if you want to. But while you here, do your mother freaking job. Shinergy is actually live. It's 5 years in the making, 3 years in formulation, and I don't even know I'm like in shock that we finally got it in production. All of our staff are now mandated to drink Shinergy. I'll just play it. No, but for real, if they want an energy drink, they got to drink Shinergy. Can't bring nothing else up in this building. But it's an incredible product, all natural product. If you take the day and the night together, that's when you get complete energy, which a lot of energy companies don't want to tell you because they need you to be tired so you can have to use their energy drinks. But we want you to get a great night's sleep so you wake up with energy and also have sustainable energy and focus throughout the day. A bunch of natural ingredients. We use ashwagandha, magnesium, melatonin in the night drink. And we use a bunch of other nootropics in the day drink that will give you clean, sustainable energy. No crashing, none of that bull crap. Just straight quality energy. And eventually I'm gonna put my formulator on here because I think that we need to give him a shout out because I want to introduce you guys to him. Like, we don't private label this stuff. We had it formulated from scratch. I mean, we talked to a person. I said I need it to be like this. I need it to taste good. I need it to have efficacy. I want all of the best supplement products and vitamins you can put in an energy drink that can give you good energy without screwing you over. So make sure you go to shinergylife.com, shinergylife.com. And for everybody else that purchased and pre-order, when you get it, taste it, and leave a review. Give us a 5-star if you believe it's 5-star worthy. All right, I want to go real quick with a Scott Jennings clip, just real quick. I want to go Scott Jennings, and I want to couple it with this male softball pitcher. So let's pull up Scott Jennings clip because he's cooking people. Every day Scott Jennings is cooking. They call him Chef Boyer Scott because he cooking. He told me he had to, well, he said it on, he didn't tell me, but he said it on a thing that he had to go buy land because he have to have somewhere to put all these liberal tears.
Scott Jennings, really great.
Thank you. Michigan. We were flying in here today, and I said, look at these farms. I got to get a farm in Michigan because when you own as many libs as I do, you got to put a place to put them all. Thank you all very much.
Oh my God. So anyway, roll the clip, watch him cook, and then I'm going to explain to you also about the ridiculousness of transgender in sports. I think I can put those two together. Roll the clip.
Allowing transgender troops to serve hurts lethality and it hurts readiness. What do you say to that?
Well, there's no evidence of that. I think that, if that was the case, we've seen transgender people serving honorably for the last several years. And what has changed between now and then? They've just woken up to a new administration who has a different outlook on their ability to serve. So I think that, if you talk to people who are serving on active duty alongside transgender troops, they're not making these complaints. The leaders in the military are not making these complaints. These are political complaints about military service. So I think that all of the courts that have looked at this issue and looked at it, have said there's nothing in fact to back up the government is claiming here. In fact, the judges challenged them to produce evidence, and they couldn't produce any evidence. So I think it's a really dark day for our country where basically we're allowed to discriminate against a class of people.
Scott, if they can't produce evidence that this actually does, in fact, have an impact on readiness, I mean, how is this not then just discrimination?
Well, it's the opinion of the commander-in-chief, who, according to our Constitution, is the head of the military. I mean, regardless of anyone's opinion or anybody's, whatever side you're on, whether you're for it or against it, at some juncture, the president is the commander-in-chief of the military, and he has and should have broad latitude to determine how the armed forces should be operated. And so I think that's what he's doing here. I think that's ultimately what the court said today, was that the president is the commander in chief, and we gotta respect that.
But I mean, to her point, if there's not a downside, and it's been going on for years now, and I mean, I'm just.
Time out. They may get to this, but it's hard to listen to this. They keep saying there's no evidence and there's not a downside. I think it's because we've never really truly investigated it. But people with common sense know, okay, you are an expense to the military that no other people have. That means that you're in the military, you got to transition. I don't know if people are sleeping under a rock, but you ain't gonna always look like a girl unless you're taking estrogen. So you have to have your supplements and stuff that you have to take. And there's side effects to taking some of these things. That suicidal ideations are some of the side effects. You're talking about muscle degeneration to a certain degree. If you're a man trying to be a woman, it's going to dilute or it's going to weaken your muscle density. So you become weaker as a soldier, period. And you got all these other things. And the root cause of you transitioning in the first place is a mental illness. That one day we decided that we weren't going to make a mental illness no more. In the 70s, homosexuality was a mental illness, what I think it is a mental illness. And also transgenderism is gender dysphoria. That means that you're born in a body and your brain is telling you this is the wrong body. That's dysphoria. That's not reality. You're not born in the wrong body. You have dysphoria. Therefore, you look at your body and you don't like what you see. Or you look at your body and you feel like it should be a different way. That is gender dysphoria. Or at least the gender is off. That's gender dysphoria. If you're a man and you look at another man, something is off. Why do we believe science until it's gay stuff and weird stuff and vaccines? Science tells you clearly it's not normal for two men to want to be together. Clearly. If it was the case, it wouldn't be 8 billion people on Earth. What are we saying? That don't mean you evil. That don't mean people should discriminate against you and hate you. But that does mean that you got to be honest about what's happening here. You have a disability. That's why you want to transition. And people can't have no other disabilities in serving the military. They just made an exception for you. And it's not right. Roll a clip.
Presenting your argument to them.
Yeah.
What is the argument other than Trump, Hegseth, just doesn't want trans people in the military?
Well, I mean, I think that the president, we'll ultimately see. I think that's why the court is allowing the president to move forward with this until it works itself through the court system. Maybe the Supreme Court will be the final arbiter here to say, yeah or nay, you can do this. But ultimately, I think the court is showcasing deference to the executive, saying that, look, you're the president, you're over the military. You do, for the most part, get to sort of dictate the standards of our military. And I don't really see how you can push back against that. Again, we'll see what happens in the court.
I can.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I can. What if the president wakes up tomorrow and says, I don't want any black people in the military? Do we give deference to him on that? Well, no, wait a second. It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous because you're discriminating against a group of people in a very similar way. No,
I knew you were going to say that, but
excuse me. Well, I'm glad you.
I'll leave this one alone
hold on.
today.
I'm curious. Why is it ridiculous? I mean, you just said the president should be the one who just decides.
Right.
So if he decides, he wakes up tomorrow and says, I think it's bad for morale, it's bad.
I think you guys already know my argument because I did this yesterday. I talked about this yesterday. But it is absolutely asinine ridiculous. I made that word up. Don't it sound good? Asinine ridiculous for somebody to say that one day Trump is going to wake up and say black people can't serve. The reason why trans people should not be in the military is for the reasons I just explained. There's a mental illness aspect. There's a estrogen and testosterone injections or whatever. I forget what they call it. They got to take hormones and stuff. So that causes your body to go through a developmental change. There's also side effects to these things. And all of this has nothing to do with, whether or not, or at least it doesn't help people in being combat ready. That's what the military is for. So all this woke stuff, DEI, trans, LGBT, has nothing to do with the military. Leave that out of the military. If you want to be trans on your own thing. Nobody should have to deal with the fact that now you got to be in this bathroom or this bathroom and you got your balls swinging in front of girls. Nobody should have to deal with that, brother. If you got your own prerogative, do that on the side. People shouldn't have to be worried about that. You cause people to have to worry about that, be concerned. Our military should be just focusing on combat readiness for every person that serves in the military. But y'all can't just be trans and be normal, though. You got to be trans rights. And wait a minute. We gave you a pass to be in here in the first place, and now you want to make it all about you. Y'all can't just be cool, because now people misgender you. And now I got misgendered. Well, all Al-Qaeda got to do, give me the big screen. All Al-Qaeda got to do is misgender y'all, and y'all folding in the wind. They come out and say, two genders. But let me say this too, and I'm done. What Trump is doing, and what many should be doing, is understanding the projection of what this will do in the future. With the way that this country is going, there's so many people that's LGBTQ and trans and all this stuff, and it's all fake bullcrap for the most part. And before you know it, in 20, 30 years from now, half of the people are going to be trans and stuff. If we just let it go unchecked and rampant, half of the people are going to be LGBTQ or something crazy. And then before you know it, we're going to be clowns and getting our heads beat in the military, and it's never recoverable. So stop doing all that, bro. Just get in the military, do your thing. If you gay, if you got this stuff going on, bro, keep that gay stuff to yourself. Serve in the military. Amen, brother. Keep that gay stuff to yourself, man. Ain't nobody talking about what you know what I'm saying? It ain't like they got let me not say that. I'm trying to be a good Christian. It ain't like they got like some dudes that's like, we believe in doggy style. Let's have a doggy style crew. Ain't nobody, man, look, what you doing in your bedroom ain't got nothing to do with nobody. Are you military ready, bro? Because what homosexual is displaying your sexual preferences in front of the world. And no, dude, just be you, man. Why we care? But no, you got to say, I'm gay in the military. Therefore, you saying, if you're a man, you say, I like some man on top of me, or I like being between some dude's legs. One of the two things is happening for you. Nobody cares. Just like I'm not telling you what me and my wife doing in the bed. I don't want them to care what you're doing and who you love. Just show up on time and put the uniform on, or do your MOS and do it with integrity and do it to the best of your ability. Nobody cares about all this foolery y'all doing. Like where I'm working at, man, look, if you gay, you gay. That ain't got nothing to do with me, but I don't need you to be like, I'm a gay employee. What are you talking about, bro? Just do your job, man. Go home and lay up on your man if you want to. But while you here, do your mother freaking job.